Welcome back to another episode of Blush Kitchen. So today's episode is actually different. We have a guest coming. You heard it here first. My friend Josh is coming, and I'm really kind of playing it fast and loose with the words my friend because we've literally never met and he kind of barely knows who I am, but he is one of my favorite TikTokers, and we're just gonna talk Bravo. We're gonna make healthy vegan nachos, and we're also gonna get into TikTok a little bit because he's wildly successful on TikTok and has grown so rapidly. So I feel like he could have a lot of good advice to share. And as far as the food, I'm just going to talk about it a little bit now. So I wanted to make nachos kind of inspired by this series that he does on TikTok where he gets food and talks. And the first one I saw was Taco Bell. And if you're a Bravo girly, you know that Taco Bell is kind of a big focal point in Vanderpump Rules. So I wanted to do something kind of Mexican inspired. So we're doing nachos. I'm using a brand of chips that are relatively healthy, but you could always swap out. I actually really want to remake these nachos and use some kind of veggie instead of the chip, maybe endive leaves or fennel. No, fennel I think would be too tough. One that I think would be really cool is raw chayote squash, just thinly sliced, or I've even done this with radishes. And then I made a healthy vegan queso. We're gonna make some barbecue tofu and a couple of different types of beans. I love using beans because of the fiber content and how it's so good for food noise. And then just a bunch of fresh veggie toppings. Oh, and a sauce that's kind of inspired by the Taco Bell chicken quesadilla sauce, but I made it super, super, super high protein and quite low in calories. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm just gonna clean up because my counter's a mess. I did pre-make the sauces because I didn't want to blend and stuff when he's here. So yeah, we're just gonna get ready for his arrival and then we're gonna get into it all. Yeah, stay tuned for Josh. Hello and welcome to Blush, the world's first wellness show that's actually entertaining. I'm Hiva and I quit law so I can help you look and feel your best. Together, we get into food, nutrition, all the latest wellness trends, but we also laugh, get silly, drop a few F-bombs, and go on a million tangents. So if that sounds like your vibe, we're about to be best friends. All right, do you want to start by making drinks?
Sure.
So I was thinking we'll do a little yuzu skinny girl marg vibe, but honestly the only similarity between this and a margarita is none. There's no tequila, there's I don't know why I'm calling it a marg. Yeah.
It's a vibe similarity.
Yeah. But I think it'll be pretty. Oh, and I got the glasses in Mexico, so
okay,
that
so it
works.
is a marg.
Yeah. There we
That's
go. Do you have a good side?
No, I don't think so.
You're not
They're
gonna
both okay.
Sheena out on me.
Actually, I can't stand this way. No, I'm not that conscious of my own image.
Me too. You know, when people talk about their good side and stuff, I'm I must be extremely unself-aware because I have not one iota of a clue what my good side would be.
No, it's for the best. You don't need to think about yourself that much.
No, that's a good point.
I was just having a conversation with somebody where they were talking about, I don't know, they were talking about microneedling and plastic surgery and talking about it in a way of that's something I'm gonna deal with eventually. And I was I don't know if I have that in me. I don't want to think about my face that much.
No. Well, and I don't think you need it.
Not yet. I still have my youth, I guess.
Yeah. How old are you?
24.
You have beautiful skin.
Thanks.
Do you do anything?
No, literally nothing, which is so bad of me, but I don't touch it.
No, I mean...
I kind of feel like this is my conspiracy theory that the people who... I was just talking about this with chapstick. I was the people who use chapstick 24/7 that I know, then they just need to use it more. But I never use it, and I feel I don't need it. And I kind of feel it's the same with skincare. People get so addicted to the products that their skin needs it. And I'm I don't need it, but maybe that's just because I'm 24 and I don't need it yet.
Listen, I used to never wash my face. And then this year I got into skincare. I have 350 skincare products. Like I have like a 25-step skincare routine now.
But you didn't before?
Literally, I did nothing before.
That's so interesting.
I think I've just channeled all my anxiety into skincare now. So
it's a good thing to put. I mean, it's a positive thing to put it into.
Yeah.
There are worse things you could do with your anxiety.
Yeah, like drugs, you know.
Yeah, it's for the best.
All right, cheers.
This is such a
Hopefully
pretty color.
Is good. You know what? It really matches your shirt, which was very
Awesome.
unintentional. Oh my God,
You can
look at
pretend it was
that.
intentional if you want.
What do you think?
Yeah, it tastes
I like
healthy.
It's light. It's refreshing. So it's butterfly pea flower tea.
Wow. I don't know
Coconut
what any of those
water.
words mean together.
And use it with just an herb. But the whole drink has a lot of electrolytes and it's good for like depuffing, which I need a lot of these days. I'm real fucking puffy these days.
Are you?
So.
I don't know if I believe that, but I believe
Listen,
you.
I was just in this sauna for like a million hours. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to make healthy vegan nachos.
Yeah.
And we're going to kiki.
Yeah.
We're going to chit chat. I want to talk Bravo. I also want to talk about you a little bit. Let me just move this shit out of the way. Oh, Sam. Sam, do you want to come be on camera for a second?
Her moment in the spotlight.
She loves being on the show. Last time she was on an episode, she got diarrhea on camera. So.
Did you include that?
I did.
As you should.
Here's Sam saying hi. I did because I was mid-sentence.
Okay.
So.
It wasn't a convenient place to cut.
No, and then I
see.
did have to stop to clean, but
I love that. Yeah, it's very real.
yeah, it was too real, some might say. She was also facing the other way, so like
Butt to
see it.
camera.
Yeah.
Oh, yum. And then you're like, okay, back to the cooking.
Literally, it was not okay. So that's fun for me.
I love that.
Okay, so what's your favorite thing on Bravo right now?
Well, Summer House is over now, so now I have to adjust. Honestly, maybe Next Gen NYC. And I'm like, who am I? I thought I was going to hate it, but it's actually good.
Okay, I want to talk about this with you. I've only watched the first episode so far.
Mhm.
Now, I have to say, I have never met anyone whose Bravo takes I agree with as much as I agree with yours.
I love that.
So it's not surprising to me. Do you kind of tend to prefer the younger shows to the older shows?
I didn't realize that until recently. I always thought of myself as a Housewives person. And
Right.
I even thought of my TikTok as like a Housewives TikTok. And then I was like, it's actually not at all. Like,
No, well, your handle is
yeah,
Josh the Roni Stan.
but that's not true.
Well,
well, yeah.
I would imagine you made it before.
Yeah, it was talking about the OGs,
Yeah.
but yeah. No, I definitely do find myself preferring the younger shows now, I think. I still love the old ladies. Like, there's something about a housewife that's like 60 that I'm like, I relate to her deeply for reasons that I could never understand.
Yeah.
But no, in terms of the shows, definitely the younger ones. Summer House, Vanderpump Rules are like my mains. But I really do love Next Gen NYC, and I never expected that. I thought I was gonna hate it. I had so many conversations with people being like, I don't even want to cover this, like it's gonna suck. And then it was actually great, and I don't really know what to do with that information, but I'm happy.
Yeah, I agree. And I have to say, I think I've only watched the first episode, so I don't know what happens in episode 2. And I don't want to be shady, but I think part of the reason why I like it more than I thought I would is because Gia isn't in it as
She's
much as
not
I
in it
thought
much at
she
all.
would be.
I don't disagree.
And
I'm not a Teresa girl.
That's the thing. I don't even really have an issue with Gia. I don't
Yeah.
even fucking know her. Like, she's a child. I just don't like her mom.
Yeah, no, same. And I have found myself weirdly getting kind of defensive of her, and I got a comment a few weeks ago that it actually made me laugh, where somebody was like, wow, you really love Gia. And I was like, wait, I literally don't. But I was defending her because I thought the people coming at her about not going to law school was a little bit ridiculous. I'm like, that lady is like 24. She's allowed to change her mind about her career. I changed my mind about my career very recently. So I was like, okay, I'm a little bit defensive of her right now. But no, I don't love that family. Except Melania, she's iconic. If she was on the show, I'd be more excited.
So funny.
Yeah.
Actually, one of my favorite moments from Rehonge was this is like so niche. I think it was when Teresa was in prison and Joe was hanging out with like the lesbian family friend they have. And I think they were helping Melania with her homework or something. And it was so like, they were like idiots. Like they were like doing everything wrong. And just that trio was being so funny together. But yeah, Melania's funny.
Joe and Melania were a great duo. I never felt like that show recovered after Joe left the country, as if it was his choice. Once Joe was forcibly removed from the country, the show wasn't as good, I think. And it's funny because I'm like such a like calling out the guys for being misogynistic, but there's something about Joe Giudice that I'm like, it's charming when he does it.
No, I agree. Yeah, my bitch wife.
That scene is so important to me. It's so funny. I mean, it's so awful. Like, imagine being her watching that, but it's incredible television.
Awful, but yeah, it was so funny. And yeah, I like just the men on that show in general. And I feel like other franchises try.
And it's never the
same. Wait, what was your recent career change? Also, by the way, quick aside, I went to law school and I could not co-sign Gia's decision harder. We have way too many people in law school.
That's what everybody who's gone tells me. So I was working in politics. That was always what I thought I would do. Most recently, like digital, like fundraising side. And I was just like, I don't like this and it makes me anxious. And then I started doing TikTok as a way to be like, let me have something to think about at night that's not how much I hate my life and the news. And now my news is like Queens of Bravo. And I'm like, this is so much better. So it's been really positive for my mental health. I still work part-time in politics. So I do that like 12, 13 hours a week.
Okay.
On the weeks where it's the most. Some weeks I do less than that. But I still have like a foot in it just in case this all goes up in flames.
Right.
But I'm happy to be out of it full-time because it was a lot on my mental health. And I can't imagine doing that full time right now with how much is happening.
Right. No, it's so heavy. Yeah, truly. Although I have to say, the Trump and Elon falling out is the most excited I've been about anything happening in politics in a long time.
Yeah.
And they're both such morons. I could see them like take each other down, which is very exciting.
Yeah, no, sometimes they give us like drops of fun drama, but for the most part, it's not, unfortunately.
For the most part, it's just like human rights violations left, right, and center. So I'm shredding tofu. I know tofu doesn't sound very exciting to anyone who's not vegan, but I'm hoping...
vegan?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I am.
I literally should not be saying this, but I just started talking to a vegetarian guy, so I'm like maybe gonna dip my toes in.
No, I love that. I thought you were gonna say you just started being carnivore, and I was like, okay, well, I can't really like help you. I don't think you're gonna have anything to eat today. I'm so sorry.
I'm excited that this is an opportunity for me to expand a little bit. I actually had tofu with him last week.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, this is interesting. I didn't mind it. But I've always like morally been interested in the vegetarian vegan life, but I just was like growing up so dependent on like cheeseburgers that I was like, I don't know if I have it in me.
No, I got it.
Trying to be healthier, so this seems like it would be a positive direction to move in. So that's really exciting. I didn't even know we were doing that.
So excited. Well, hopefully this will be fun and everything will turn out good. But I also love doing vegan food with non-vegan people because I like having an honest take of how things are, especially compared, because like I've been vegan since 2017.
Oh, wow.
Since May of 2017. So like
with no breaks in between, you've stayed consistent with it? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Now I do make an exception for bee products. Like that doesn't really...
What products?
Bee, like honey.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like I don't really like eat tons of honey, but if I'm really sick, I will, because it's kind of magic. And And I'll use like bee products on my skin as part of my 35-step skincare routine.
I love that. I didn't even know that was a skincare thing.
Oh my God. Nothing makes my skin look better than bee products.
Wow. Okay,
That's
good
the
to
fucking
know.
best, yeah.
I'm taking notes for when I develop my own skincare routine eventually.
Yes.
I like want to, because it's so aesthetic when the people like do the videos that and that. Not that I could ever be that genre of influencer, but they make it look so fun. But I'm also like, I shouldn't do it just for that reason.
No, but like I'm the same. Honestly, a lot of like changes I've made in my life are literally things that I'm like, oh, I like the aesthetic of that. Like I like started drinking matcha because I was like, I like
so
the
cute.
aesthetic.
No, it's so cute. I know.
Like I want to be the type of girl who drinks matcha.
I know. No, I relate to that. It doesn't taste bad, but it is cuter than it tastes, in my opinion.
I like it. I mean, it depends on how you drink it. I make a really good matcha drink. It's coconut water. It's an iced matcha drink, coconut water. And then I froth the matcha after I like mix it with hot water. I'll froth it with soy milk. And I have this soy milk that's really creamy. And then it gets like you get this cloud and pour it on top. It's so good because you get sweetness from the coconut water and you get creaminess from the soy milk and you get protein. Like it's aesthetic, it's chic, it's delicious, it's
important for
vibey.
Beverages to be chic, and this is definitely fitting the vibe.
Oh, I love a good beverage. Okay, so we're gonna wait for this to finish preheating and then we'll throw it in. I'm trying to think of what would make sense to do next. Why don't we get some chopping out of the way for like nacho toppings, and then we'll do the beans and the sauces. It's going to be like a super veggie packed situation.
Yum. I trust your judgment. Also, the way that the plate is even kind of matching the like light purpley vibe.
I know. And again, I had no idea you were going to show up in this. So yeah, it worked out so perfectly. You know, growing up, my favorite color was purple.
I wasn't allowed for it to be because I was a guy, but it like was anyway. I was like, it's blue. And then it was like,
yes. Okay. I remember having guy friends as a little kid who said the same thing. Like they were like, it's blue, but like really it's purple.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Because you're not really allowed. Your only options really are blue, green, and red.
Oh, is red? I guess red's kind of masculine, huh?
It like shouldn't be, but it is.
I mean, it's like
for kids.
Pink adjacent.
It is.
So.
Once you're an adult, yeah, you realize it's not that masculine. Now I love like a red coat, but I'm like, when I was a kid, I didn't.
You know what I think is really chic? Adidas, like the Adidas striped shorts in red.
I think Garcelle wore, I don't know if it was Adidas, but she wore some kind of like red tracksuit at the end of the Beverly Hills reunion when she was like walking out, and she looked so good. I was like, this is the hottest anyone has ever looked in the history of the world. So she kind of changed my outlook on red, actually.
Ooh, make sure you're a little bit further in. Yeah, we might have to be tight. I don't remember that, but what do you think of her quitting? She quit, right? She wasn't fired, right?
No, they seemed very upset about her exit. I support it. I don't think the girls liked her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get it. I don't know. I think that some of her, I thought it was a little bit funny that she was like so surprised that Dorit was very upset about her saying the robbery was basically staged. Like I was like, okay, so Garcelle, like that's really bad. Like you can't say that. But at the same time, I'm like, Dorit sucks, so I don't really care that much. I don't know. But I love Garcelle. I'm very excited that she protected her peace, and hopefully we'll be happy in this next chapter for her. And I love that she's been like posting all the pictures with the like A-list celebrity. Like she's like flexing on everybody just a little bit, and I support it. I want the best for her, and I want her to be happy. And I don't think that group brought out a good side of her.
I agree. I grew up watching a lot of BET. Just like as a brown person, I felt myself very like I felt very different from white people, but I also, at the time when I was a kid, because I am like 360 years old, there was no one on TV that looked like me either. Mm-hmm. And so I started kind of appropriating Black culture a little bit. So there was a phase where I watched a lot of BET, and Garcelle was like that bitch. Like, I don't think the average Bravo fan knows how big of a deal Garcelle
I
was.
don't.
Like, she was stunning. She was on all these shows. Like, she was like one of the hottest, coolest girls out there. So when they cast her, I was like, wait, what? Like, her? I love her. Do you think, and I actually I never talk about race stuff ever. I actually just veer away from talking about politics in general because I just want it to be an escape.
That's how I feel, but then sometimes I'm like, is that bad? Am I like enabling? I don't know.
No, I know. It's such a hard balance. And a part of my thing also is I feel like if I talk about one issue, then I have to talk about every issue. And I don't want to talk about every. Exactly. Yeah. And then if I don't talk about something, people would be like, oh, so you just don't care about this? And it's like, no, I care about a lot of things. I can't talk about everything I care about.
No, it's hard. I also think part of it for me is like, I feel like a lot of what I try to do, and I don't know if this necessarily comes through, but I like to think of my content, especially when like Vanderpump was happening and it was so misogynistic, and like I like to think of my content at times as like trying to teach middle-aged ladies about feminism 101. And I think that if I were more vocal about politics, maybe they wouldn't listen to me as much. And I don't know, maybe that's bad of me and maybe I shouldn't think of it that way. But I do think of, I don't know, I'm like, I wouldn't want somebody to not listen to what I'm saying about like misogyny is bad because I like said something more explicitly political, but it's hard.
Yeah, no, I think you're actually 100% right on that. I think that that's a completely correct take. And I actually think you do a really good job of that. There is a lot of misogyny on Bravo and in the audience. And it's crazy.
The audience is worse than the actual network. It's so bad. But I like feel like we're finally getting out of it now, but like between Ariana's last season on Vanderpump and then like the Paige and Craig break, like I feel like for a year and a half I was just at war with Facebook moms consistently. And I'm like, maybe we can like stop fighting for a second, but like they're so crazy. And it makes me so mad. Yeah.
Okay, speaking of misogyny, let's talk about Paige. So one thing I want to talk to you about, because you've been pretty vocal about this on your TikTok, and I'm shocked at how many people I know in my personal life who don't agree with me on this, or like, let's just talk about Paige's like breadwinner comment, because I'm shocked at how like scandalized people were by that comment, especially men. Like men lost their shit. I was like, oof.
Men, well, even I almost can understand them. Not understand. I could never be that genre of man, but I almost understand it with when the men are like threatened by that. But the like middle-aged Facebook moms being so alarmed by that or acting like it's so unrealistic to think that that's the case. I was like, what? Like, is it 1950? Yeah. It was so strange. And I think on some level it's Bravo's fault and Southern Charm's fault, because I think they have sold us this story for so many years of like, Craig is the most business-oriented entrepreneur to ever exist. He's a genius. No one has ever done anything like what he's doing with Sewing Down South, which is just not true, respectfully.
Yeah.
And I think that it's hard for people to like think, wow, maybe he is making like not the most money in human history. I also think people just underestimate how much money there is to be made on the internet, and that's another part of it.
Yeah.
Since obviously now Paige has her business, but largely her money has come from online platforms that people don't necessarily understand. Like I think people wildly underestimate how much money she's probably making with the Amazon Lives alone. And that doesn't even touch the podcast and the tour and everything else. But no, that was very funny how upset people got about that. I was like, are we like serious?
Yeah. I thought it was like two different issues, right? Like you said, there were the people who were just not believing it.
Yeah.
Which, I think you're right. Like people might just not understand the nature of, podcasting and things like that and how much money there is to be made in that. And then the other side of it were people who were just like, I can't believe she said that.
That I understand less. It's like, why, I don't know, why can't she say that?
Yeah.
I don't fully understand that, but I don't know. I think considering how the fan base acts on a regular basis, I wasn't that surprised by it, but it's still unfortunate.
Right. Have you looked at any Daphne?
I looked. I was thinking about getting the t-shirt, the Hannah t-shirt, and then it was more expensive than I thought it was going to be. And then it sold out before I even could make a decision, which I'm very happy for her that it sold out. I don't think it's really my vibe, but it was cute and I'm happy for her. And I hope that they listen to some of the feedback they've been getting because I think it is valid, but I'm really happy for her. I'm
what
excited.
feedback has she been getting?
About the lack of plus size. That's, I think, valid. And I've seen her kind of respond to some of the comments being like, this was our first drop. Like, we're definitely thinking about that. Yeah. And I get why people don't love that answer.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, the price, well, I don't really agree with the price complaints. I feel like this happens every time a Bravo celebrity releases anything that's not like a cheap merch situation. Because it's like, respectfully, like, if it's too expensive, like, she has a target audience.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to sound like elitist in saying that, but like, I don't think her target audience is everybody who watches Summer House, and that's fine. And even with people thinking that it's not cute, like, I think there's a target audience, and if you don't think it's cute, that's your opinion, but there are people who do think it is because it sold out pretty quickly.
Yeah, no, totally. I looked at it, I added some stuff to cart, and then the checkout wasn't working because like the site was overloaded basically. And then like later I was like, I don't really need this shit. But I do think it's really cute. I'd be so curious to see what the material's like in person.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's another thing. It was like, am I going to be willing to spend the money before I've heard anybody say how it is? And I was like, maybe in a future drop. I also think they'll probably do more interesting like colors and things in future drops. I was like, I don't need to do this yet. I'll wait for the improvements.
Yeah. But it's definitely, what stuck out to me about it is that it's clear that she wants this to be a brand with lasting power. Like it's like, she's not the face of it.
Yeah.
Like the first person you see on the website isn't her. Like she has like real models and stuff like that. I was like, oh, okay. Like this isn't a Bravo celebrity thing. This is like, she wants to start a real clothing brand.
I agree. And I do think it's interesting that she now won't have the opportunity to wear it all summer, because I was like, that would be such good marketing if she's just in it the entire summer. But now she won't be able to do that. And I'm devastated. But that's fine. It's her choice.
Yeah. Let's talk about her exit.
I don't want to.
You're sad.
I was very sad. And it's kind of funny because I'm so desensitized to like the Bravo news now, because once something happens, part of my like way of functioning with this is like, I need to be one of the first people to get a video up. Like, I feel like I miss the moment if I don't do that. I try. So I literally saw that IG story like 2 minutes after it was posted. And I don't even really think about what I'm going to say. I just get my ring light and start talking. And then I kind of form my thoughts as I'm speaking. And then I was like, usually then I feel like I don't ever really process things that happen because I make the video. I process it on camera and then I'm like, okay, whatever. I made the video. I'm done thinking about this. That one was a rare one where I finished making the video and then I was like, fuck, like I'm actually really sad about this. And I mean, I get it. It makes a lot of sense for her circumstances, but I'm still sad. I really thought we would get one more summer out of her. And Kyle even said that in an interview that he thought she would do one more.
Yeah.
And that's what I was hoping for. I mean, obviously it's not much of a surprise, but I'm not thrilled about it. I feel like, especially because this season's casting didn't leave me very optimistic about their ability to cast people who will be real replacements for her. So I have some concerns about the future of the show, but I'm happy for her. I mean, if she didn't want to do it, then good, don't do it. Like, who cares? Yeah.
Okay, I want to come back and talk about Lexi in a minute.
I have so much to say about her.
I'm dying for this. I do want to say, like, so I feel like the rumors started swirling. Probably people were already kind of like, is Paige outgrowing Bravo, blah, blah. But then it was like, it wasn't Jesse on an Amazon Live or an interview or something. And he said there was like a shocking thing, revelation on the reunion, which now in retrospect, what do you think it was? Do you think it was the Craig wedding thing?
I think Jesse was just talking, honestly.
Just bluffing? Okay.
I don't really think it was anything, but I heard Amanda, I was thinking maybe Paige told them there, but then Amanda just said in an interview that she heard from Paige, like FaceTiming her and Sierra. So I don't even think Paige was telling people at the reunion. See, I don't know what Jesse was talking about. I saw people saying maybe it was Lindsay and Turner breaking up. That's not a big announcement. Like, we all knew that. But I don't know. I don't trust Jesse to have any idea what he's talking about in any circumstances.
True. But yeah, so after that, I was like, okay, well, it's got to be Paige leaving. It would make sense. And I was so devastated. But then the more I was thinking about it, I was like, for her sake,
Yeah.
I genuinely hope this is true because she would be leaving on such a high. Everyone loves her right now. The worst thing I think she could do is come back and get a bad edit and then leave on that note.
That's true.
And I'm sure Hannah was being like,
Hannah was
girl,
probably like, finally.
Get out.
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
While you have a good edit.
That's true. I guess I also can see why she maybe would be concerned about that, since I feel like Andy, and then, I don't know. Andy loves Craig so much. Like, I don't know. I don't want to say he was on Craig's side, but I think if he leaned toward being on a side, it wouldn't be Paige's. And so I get why maybe she would be concerned that if that's the network's feelings, that maybe they wouldn't be that nice to her next season. I don't know. I hope she's back on TV eventually, though, because she's made for it, obviously. And I love her so much.
Yeah, she is. Do you think, though, that Andy's on Craig's side, even after watching the reunion?
I just think that he loves his boys, and even if they're wrong, he thinks it's like funny when they're wrong. Like, he never holds it against them, I feel like, in the way that he does with, like, there have been some reunions with, like, Lindsay, where you can tell he's, like, actively opposed to Lindsay. He never does that with the boys. Even, like, I don't know, Wes last season, Andy, like, loves Wes even at his worst moments. Like, he just loves his boys, and I get it.
Yeah, Andy definitely, is biased towards the boys. Like, I mean, he went out with all the boys after the Summer House reunion.
Yeah, I did not love that. I was like, I don't know that that's what you should be doing, but sure.
To me, the most egregious, though, was Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
The way, like, the men on that show are constantly forgiven for behaving like absolute, like, animals.
I know.
And it's a constant thing. It's not like a one-time thing. Okay, do you like beans?
I'm not opposed to them.
You're so easygoing with them. You're like actually one of the most easygoing people I've ever interacted with. Like, where do you get it from? I could stand to be a bit more easygoing.
It's not genetic because my parents aren't, so I don't know.
Do you think it's like a corrective thing? Like your parents were so like high strung that you just learned to be like really go with the flow?
That's a nice interpretation. Yeah, let's go with that.
Good for you. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to do beans. We might do, I don't know, we might do both pinto and black beans, or we might just do pinto beans depending on my mood. We'll find out soon.
I can't wait to find out.
But the reason I want to do beans is not just because they have protein. They're really high in fiber. They're also high in resistant starch, which is good for like muting food noise. Basically, like what resistant starch does is it feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut, which then ferment the resistant starch, and it increases the GLP-1 in your body, which is the same thing that like Ozempic does. So you just kind of are like a little less crazed with food. So I try to incorporate them because I tend to be a very food noisy person. So
same. I gotta learn your tricks. I've been getting a lot of fiber TikToks recently. TikTok is telling me it's very important.
It is. And the thing is, everyone talks about protein and everyone like knows about protein. And I will never discount protein. Like protein's really fucking important.
Yeah.
But the vast majority of people get enough protein in their diets, whereas the vast majority of people are not getting enough fiber in their diets. So
that's what I'm learning.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. I feel like I've started to think about how little I get, and I'm like, oh shit, like I gotta fix that. So, but I don't really know. I don't know enough about food to know what to do about it.
Well, this is a good little crash course for you
I need
guys.
to start watching more of your content.
I'm also excited because you're gonna have a lot to talk about with this boy.
Yes, that's true. No, I've never been single before. I don't know what this is.
Wait, when did you start dating your ex?
I was 17. So now I'm 24. So yeah, now I'm like interacting with new people. I don't know what this is, but yeah, no, I have a lot to learn.
That's so cool. When did you come out? Sorry, can I ask that?
Yeah, no, I don't care. I was like 20.
Okay.
So that relationship was a few years of not being out in the open.
When did you know you were gay?
Like
young.
14, maybe?
Yeah.
Not that young. I mean, everybody else knew before me.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean, that definitely like crossed my mind, but I was like, I don't need to think about that at the moment, which is kind of how I function. I'm really good at like not thinking about things if I don't want to. Like
This always scares me.
that's so valid.
Wait, fuck. Okay. And we're gonna turn it.
I've never seen this device before also. I
It's
love
like
it.
a gas camping stove, but I like to use it for food content because I mean I have a stove there, but you know
It's cuter.
it's
It's little. It
yeah.
fits in the frame.
And I guess I should turn it, but it has all this cute little hardware.
It does. And it does.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Like when I was having my career crisis for like 5 years, I didn't think about it for like 3 of those years. I was like, I don't need to think about that right now. Why would I?
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually I was like, wait, fuck, I actually really need to think about this. But I'm really good at shutting it down for a while.
Mm-hmm,
And then eventually I'm like, okay, I should deal with this thought. So yeah, I came out when I was like 20, which was, I feel like a little late, but it could have been worse.
Was your family accepting?
Yeah. I mean, they knew. Like, it was like,
Right.
I was the last person to say it out loud.
Okay. That's really helpful.
Yeah, no, it was nice. I didn't need to do much. But it was like a situation also where it was like, I wanted to come out so that my relationship could be like out in the open.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like 2 reveals at once, and nobody was surprised by either of them.
Oh, did people kind of know
Yeah.
that you were dating the
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah, it just
Okay.
wasn't said out loud.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been a journey. I was like on the apps. I'm like, I don't know how to do this, and I don't want to do it for much longer. So hopefully things keep going well, because it's awful.
Yeah, the apps aren't fun, but I have to say I met my boyfriend on the apps. So I'm a big like defender of it.
Which app, if I'm
Bumble.
allowed to ask? Okay, interesting. I had used Bumble for like the friend thing, like a few years ago when I first started spending more time in the city. I like dipped my toes in that, and then it
Yeah.
was like, well, so that's the one that like for the romance side, the girls have to message first. Am I right
Yeah.
about that? Okay, so I didn't really know what it. I feel like that's its like gimmick. So I was like, what does that mean when they're both guys? So I didn't actually download it for this era of my life. I was just doing Hinge, Tinder, and the other one that I'm not going to talk about. But I deleted it right away because it was scary. The G.
The G one? Okay. I was going to ask if it was the G one or the R one, because people sometimes are weird about the R one too.
The
I was never
R
on
one.
it. Raya.
Oh, I couldn't get accepted.
I wasn't either. I think the trick is you have to get someone to recommend you, and then
Yeah.
you get accepted like kind of right away.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe I'll leave this in. Let it sizzle more. So we're kind of going for like a barbecue vibe with this. Usually I add mushrooms and eggplant and shred everything up together, but I didn't have anything today.
Wait, so I want to ask about the vegan thing.
Yeah.
Are you the type, like, do you engage with the like fake meat products? Or is that a no for you?
Almost never. I'm not
Why?
opposed to them. I did more when I first went vegan, especially like if I ever craved something. It was so nice to like just have an Impossible Burger, and it tastes so much like meat. And it just, you know, like really hit that spot. But as time has gone on, I just don't crave that stuff really as much anymore. And it is super processed, but I don't have a problem with it. I think sometimes people are weird about it.
Yeah, no, they are.
Right,
And
like
I think if
it's-
I were to move in that direction, that would definitely be like a step I needed to take.
Yeah.
But I don't.
And I think that's a great thing. Listen, when I first went vegan for like a month, I ate vegan hot dogs every day. Like they were so satisfying to me. I fucking loved them.
I love that.
I don't regret that at all. But that was
And
also
then
before.
you were kind of over it.
Yeah, and I like went into like a more natural route. So like now I don't really buy a whole lot of processed like ingredients at all. Like I don't even buy the vegan cheeses, which aren't even that bad, but I kind of try to make my own healthier takes on things.
Wow.
So that's really why I don't, but I'm not
Yeah.
opposed to them. But yeah, like I've had people say the craziest things to me about it before. Like, what's the point? I'm like, the point is you didn't kill a fucking chicken.
Yeah.
That's the point. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. No, it's kind of strange. Like if you want more people to do it, you shouldn't be so pretentious about how they go
Yeah.
about it, I feel like. But I don't know. Maybe it'll be a new chapter for me where I start dipping my toes more into it.
Well, what I think is really, really helpful, just like from like an ethics, or what's the word I'm looking for? Like if we actually care about the environment and saving these animals, what I think is really helpful is having a lot of people make more vegan substitutions when they can, rather than wanting people to be like perfectly vegan all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that that's realistic. I think it's really hard for most people, but I think every time someone has like oat milk instead of regular milk, that's a win for the community. That's like a little bit less like cow being raped, you know? Like that's
a very realistic way of looking at it.
And unfortunately, I do think vegans are the problem here a lot of the time, because there is this like pressure to be like perfect with everything. Like, I've even gotten yelled at on the internet for talking about like putting honey on my face. And I'm like, okay, I'm so sorry that like the plight of the bees isn't like my number one concern in this life, you know? Like, I feel like I'm doing a lot for the animals, and it's just like unfair to be hard on me about this like one little thing.
Was it more for like moral, ethical reasons that you initially did it?
100%, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, 100%. I was actually really scared to do it because I like have always had this like kind of food noise issue. And I was like, if I cut out animal protein, am I going to feel like so restricted that I start binge eating? Or, you know, I also was always like really into nutrition, and a lot of the research I do on like, you know, what are the best foods for mood, and what are the best foods for like cognition and this and that. A lot of the results were amino acid based, or like things that you find more abundantly or easily in animal protein. And so, yeah, I was like really hesitant to do it for those reasons. And I decided to try it for a week once. And I tried it, and I found that not only was I like not obsessing about food at all, but I actually felt so like good about the food decisions I was making every day, and I was really excited about it, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it for life.
Wow. And you stuck to it. That's so impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It was May of 2017.
I feel like if you could last that long, what's gonna make you slip now?
Yeah, and I already like have had some health issues that I had to go through. Like I had low iron levels for a while, and that was the hardest thing that I dealt with being vegan, because it is definitely harder to get iron. And protein I never found to be an issue, but iron was really hard for me. So I feel like since I've already been through that, it's like what could hold me back now? Yeah.
That's
okay,
really
so
good.
for the pinto beans, I did some liquid smoke to give them like a smoky flavor, and I added some chipotle seasoning. Black beans, I think I'm gonna go a little spicy. Do you like spice?
I don't mind it. I have no strong feelings, just about TV.
Okay, so Next Gen NYC, you're loving right now.
I am, and it's so strange, but I really am. And I always really disliked Kim Zolciak so strongly. And the fact that her daughter is like great, I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this. I was really upset that they were like bringing them back into the Bravo fold. I was like, they're just too gross. But I love Ariana. She's great. She's the star of the show at this point from the first 2 episodes.
Okay, I haven't watched the second episode, so I do have that against me. Also, I'm gonna say something that you might not like to hear. I don't watch Atlanta.
Wow.
Yet.
Okay, yeah, say yeah. You should.
I will. It's just gonna be, you know what it is? Before 2019, I watched Vanderpump, Summer House, Roni, and I'd watched like season 1 of Beverly Hills and season 1 of New Jersey. But the Bravo shows that I watched in secrecy, because I was like the ultimate pick-me girl, and I was like, I don't like girly stuff. Like I only like
That's so
football
funny. That's not how I
and
perceive
South
you
Park.
at all.
I'm so into girly stuff. You know what I mean?
So you had positive evolution.
Yeah, I really had to step back and be like, wait, this is who I authentically am. Like, why am I trying to hide this shit to be more like I wanted to be like one of the guys. Like I thought that's what would make me cool, which is so funny.
I mean, I feel like that's how a lot of people. Ariana Madix was kind of like that too, and now she's the biggest girl on earth.
Yes.
So there's nothing wrong with having that evolution.
Yeah, I actually relate to that with her so much. So then in 2019, I started watching all these shows. Like I went back to Beverly Hills and picked up at season 2. I actually rewatched season 1 of New Jersey because it had been a while. I started watching Dallas, which R.I.P.
I've never seen it because by the time I was watching them all, that was over. So I was like, I don't need to.
It's good.
Maybe one day I will.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, like I started catching Potomac, Love. And Atlanta's going to be my next one. I also don't watch OC. Like season 1.
I love OC. It's so good. Heather Dubrow is so important to me personally. And that's like the take I get dragged for on the internet.
I think I would love her. I think she would be my favorite housewife, so I have to go watch it.
It's so good.
But both of those feel like such big undertakings.
They both took me like a year. I'm really slow at watching TV like in a binge way. Like I can't do it. That's why I'm so glad that I'm finally in a groove where I'm like caught up on everything that I care about. Like I just need to watch week to week when it's airing because I'm so bad at binging. So yeah, OC literally took me a year. Atlanta took me a year. But they're both so good. I love Kenya so much, so I loved Atlanta for her.
Okay.
And then OC Heather I love so much. I loved Tamara too for a while, but then she became too demonic. But some people think Heather is too. I don't know. She's like a genre of evil that I'm very tickled by. So even when she's like being unhinged, I think it's very funny. So I don't hold it against her.
What I see of her, I think she would like be my favorite.
Yeah,
so I feel like I need to watch.
That's how I felt
her.
before I watched it too, and it came true. You just kind of know, like her vibe is just so funny. I love her. That's the only thing that people ever yell at me for when OC's airing. People are like, I don't understand why you ride so hard for this lady and Meredith on Salt Lake City. Because they have some overlapping energy, I would say. Heather's a little bit less like crazy, but they're like, in terms of being like very like pretentious and not always making sense in conflict, they have some overlap. But Heather's much less like kooky, but they still have some overlap. But I love them both
Meredith
so much.
is like, if she's on drugs, I want them. You know, like I don't know what she's doing.
I would love to know her regimen.
Okay. That we need to talk about. I have never seen anyone look better than Meredith Marks does. Like, what the fuck is she doing?
I know. I saw her in real life in November, and she was even hotter in real life. And I was like, who are you? Like, how did this happen?
And every time she's on our screen, I swear she looks better than the last. Every single time without fail. Like, she just keeps... It's like she still looks like herself, though. Yeah. She doesn't look fake. She doesn't look overdone.
I love her. She's great.
What do you think of her kids? Speaking of Next Gen.
I don't know how I feel about Brooks yet. I think he talked in the second episode a bit about like how hard it was having his sexuality be discussed on TV before he was really ready for that to happen.
Yeah, which was really fucked up. Yeah.
That was like a humanizing moment.
Yeah.
He's just so dry and monotone that I have a difficult time I'm like, is this real? Like, but I think it is. I think it's just their weird genetics that make them, because they're all kind of like that.
They're all, him and Chloe are the same, which by the way, Chloe fucking stunning. Like I did not realize how beautiful she is. And Brooks also beautiful, man.
They're very pretty. They have good genes and it makes sense. I mean, Seth I think is really hot too. So
I can't co-sign.
I love him. He's so evil when the proof biatch to Whitney. I was
crazy.
Like, okay, it's awful, but like I kind of love him. I don't know. He's a chaos queen, but I think they're a very beautiful family.
Yeah, but Meredith is just unreal.
I know. I love
unreal. Her. Okay, so we have beans, toppings. I'm gonna grab some sauces, and then I tried to make like a vegan queso.
Wow.
We'll see how it is. I'll tell you in a sec. All right, and this is where I'm like glad that you're not vegan, because when I give stuff to my boyfriend, who's also not vegan, he just loves everything I make, because I think he just like really loves me.
Oh, I love that for you.
I know. So like, but he's not a great taste test for me. He also is Australian.
Oh, wow.
And something I didn't know for a long time is Australians, like if something just like tastes good, they'll be like, oh yeah, that's tangy. And so I'd have him taste things and he'd be like, that's tangy. And I'm like, but it's not supposed to be tangy.
Like it's just like a
sure?
positive adjective?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Like whereas in America, tangy means something.
That's so interesting. Wait, I want to ask because we have the scene on this last season of Summer House where Paige and Craig go to the Australian restaurant. I went to it and tried the kangaroo skewers that they had. And then I was getting a bunch of comments being like, we don't eat kangaroo. Like, that's not a thing.
Yeah. Okay, so we go to Australia every year for a couple of months.
That's so cool.
I've never seen someone eat kangaroo in Australia. Like, I think it might just be, and I think they probably do it a little bit here and there. But I do think it's something like restaurants in America do to be like very like, ooh, Aussie.
Yeah. And it's like a little shocking when it's on the menu. Yeah. So that's like funny. It was honestly good. It just tasted like steak.
I could see that. Was it not really tough?
No, it wasn't.
Because kangaroos are kind of fucking built.
Yeah.
Kangaroos are crazy. Like they're really strong.
I've never seen one in real life.
I've seen a lot of videos. They like to spar. Like they'll do like this crazy boxing thing. And then you should look up this one kangaroo. He's dead now, but it was Roger. R.I.P. Roger. He's he's real built. And he's like so testosterone-y that all this like red like fumes come off his skin. I'm not even joking. It's like kind of
nuts. That's what I'm trying to be, 2025.
Oh, with all this fucking protein here, we'll get you there.
That's so funny. Okay, I'm taking a mental note to look up Roger.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
I'll send him to you later. Don't worry. It's going to be your new TikTok algorithm. My algorithm right now is like a bunch of you. Like I see every video you've ever made. It's actually to the point now where I'm getting like videos you made months ago. Like
I hate when that happens because I get likes. I think it's partially because a lot of people have been going back and watching my Love Island playlist from last year and liking those videos. And I feel like that's bringing up videos from that time. So that's even like last summer. And I'm like, I don't remember what I was saying back then. Like, don't listen to me. I don't know. Like, I don't know what takes I was having at that time. I'm like, don't judge me based off of those. So it's a little scary when that happens, but I'm glad that I'm a presence on your FYP. That's nice to hear.
When did you start your TikTok? You may have said this, but I can't remember.
Only like late 2023. Well, I was like periodically posting before that.
Yeah.
But I didn't lock it. There was a moment where I like bought the ring light, was like, I'm doing this every day. That was like November 2023. And then by March, I was making money off of it, which I feel like is a really quick turnaround.
That's really impressive.
Thanks.
What advice would you give to someone who's starting a TikTok?
A lot. Do something that's easy because I have structured it in a way that everything is so minimal effort. And I know not everybody can do, like I feel a little annoying saying it because I know a lot of people put a lot of effort into their editing and like their production and a lot of that stuff. But like, you're not going to want to do that all the time. Like it's fine if you want to have some videos that are like, and TikTok definitely like likes the people who put that much effort into their videos, but it's just not sustainable if you're trying to post like 3 times a day to be doing that. So,
okay, I might disagree with you on this. I think that TikTok doesn't like when you put a lot of effort in.
Interesting.
So like comparing my Instagram to my TikTok, I find that on TikTok, off the cuff, unedited, unfiltered, like unpolished content does really well. Like stuff I would never post on Instagram. And then when I post some of like my more polished, like beautiful recipes on TikTok, I feel like they don't do very well.
Okay, interesting. I feel like I'm saying that more so from things that people who work at TikTok tell me than actual realities of the algorithm. They claim to like the well-produced stuff.
Okay, that's
but I don't
good
really
to
do
know.
it, so I wouldn't know. Everything I do is very simple. I've made it so that I can make a video in under 10 minutes. And that's so stunning because I don't want to be spending a million years on it. And I think that that's the mistake a lot of people that I know make is like, they want everything to be perfect. They want to spend a lot of time editing. They want to make it like, I don't care. Like, this is going to, again, make me sound so lazy, but like, I don't care if there's like a little pause in the video. Like, I'm not going to like trim it to death. Like, I don't care. Like, I never have. And I feel like I've done reasonably well not caring about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So honestly, just post. Don't put a lot of thought. I mean, put thought into it, obviously, but like, I don't know. I didn't really have a strategy. You kind of have to listen to what the algorithm likes. Like, I tried to be a Housewives account at first, and I was doing that, and I was doing okay at it. And then Vanderpump is what made my stuff start popping off. So I was like, okay, I'm going to focus on that. And it was, I think, largely because I was defending Katie and Ariana at a time where not. Ariana had plenty of defenders, Katie didn't, and I think the Katie stans appreciated having a white man in the room advocating for her. And that was, I feel like that's kind of how I popped off. And then Love Island also helped last summer a lot. I think, I don't really know why, but it's kind of just me being the first to it. Like, as soon as the episode is done, I'm in front of my ring light. I know that they release the episode like 25 minutes early usually, so I'm like watching it before people even really realize that it's out, and then my video is up by like 10:20.
Can you try? Yeah. Well, okay, so what I'm hearing is, I have scissors. So I think we might have to go that route. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with this bag. So what I'm hearing is you found a way where you could be really consistent, and also like, you know what makes you unique. So like, one of your things is that you are quick.
Yeah, and it kind of, I mean, kind of again, going to like the simplicity, like I feel like I beat people because they're putting too much thought into it. Like when it gets announced that Paige is exiting, I'm immediately in front of the ring light. I'm not even really thinking about what I'm saying. I'm just, obviously I know how I feel about it. So I'm expressing some kind of coherent thoughts, but I'm not like scripting. I've never had a script in my life. Like, I don't do that. I like just talk shit, and then and that's fun, and it does well because the algorithm rewards you for being quick and rewards you for kind of doing the same thing over and over again. Like, I know 90% of my videos are going to be me in front of the ring light, a green screen with 2 pictures, one on top, one on the bottom. Like, it's just such a consistent formula, and I think the algorithm likes that.
Yeah. By the way, doesn't this kind of like melt like cheese?
Yeah.
A bit?
No, I would believe that it's
taste
cheese.
One?
Yeah.
Fun fact about me, I don't really like tortilla chips.
That's so interesting.
Okay, that might be a lot. It might be hot. Wait for it to cool down, but I kind of want your honest take on how similar it is to queso, and then I'll tell you. But like queso specifically, because I spiced it like queso, so it wouldn't be like plain cheese. Okay. And then I'll tell you what's in it.
Okay.
Poison.
I collapsed on the camera. Okay,
it was all a scheme.
Interesting. I don't think it's far off. There is a taste that I'm having trouble identifying that is not present in queso.
Okay.
I don't know what it is though.
Okay.
So I'm not being that helpful.
Yeah.
But maybe when you say what's in it, maybe I'll recognize it.
So the base is butternut squash and cashews. That's kind of the base. And then to give it a bit of a cheesy flavor, I added nutritional yeast, which really does kind of an exceptional job of being cheesy. And it's loaded with B vitamins and amino acids. So it's also good for you. Miso, which is fermented and salty. So again, it gives kind of like, because cheese is technically fermented. So it kind of gives that like the sourness of a fermentation and the saltiness of cheese and kind of just that savory umami flavor. And then refined coconut oil, but I only use a very small amount. Like if I were less health conscious and wanted it to taste more like cheese, I would add a lot more refined coconut oil because that really gives it like the cheesy mouthfeel. But I only use a tiny bit. And then I did the queso-y spices. So I did a tomato powder, onion powder, garlic, paprika, cumin. So like, I wonder if it's cumin. But I don't know. It could just be like,
it could be the
not
butternut
cheese.
Squash vibe.
Yeah.
But I love butternut squash, so I'm probably positive towards that.
Yeah, the reason I add that is because it's, cheese is like a little sweet. Like that's something you might not realize, but it like technically has sugar. And it also gives a bit more color. And it just helps make the recipe a little bit lighter than if it were just cashew based. Again, like I'm constantly trying to balance between the health aspect of it and like the flavor aspect of it and like where I want to land on that.
That makes sense. It's really good though.
Thanks.
I feel like you spiced it correctly. Like
Thanks.
that part seems on point. There's like I said, I just can't fully identify what the like slightly different thing is, but it's not a bad difference.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
No, that's a helpful answer. Oh,
Like
and then
tangy.
I use tapioca starch to make it melt and stretch like that.
Okay, interesting. You know so many things.
Yeah.
Do you have educational background in this, or you just know?
No. I took one nutrition class in college, so like a bit on the nutrition front, but mostly it's like self-studied because there's so much that changes, especially, I mean, the science of nutrition is a relatively new science, and there are like constantly studies that come out that like debunk things that we once thought, you know? Yeah. So I do keep up with that. I try to keep up with like studies and the science and just like follow people I trust and their opinions. And
can I ask you a really specific question?
Yes.
I get really conflicting answers about this from TikTok about how severely I should not be drinking Diet Coke.
That's a really good question.
Because some people say it's like fine, and then other people are well. Obviously, I am aware that that should not be something that's entering my body frequently. But some nutrition TikTok people are like, it's like fine, and then others are like, no, it's like really bad and it's gonna kill you. And it's very conflicting, the answers they give.
Yeah, it's such a good question. Here's the truth. Is it good for you? No.
Yeah, which no one should think it is, really.
Yeah,
it's Diet
but
Coke.
there are a lot of things that aren't good for you. And actually, if you look at it, like you'd really have to drink so much for it to really truly negatively affect your health. I completely forgot about this sauce. Okay, so this sauce, I tried to model after, you know, the Taco Bell chicken quesadilla sauce?
Yeah.
Like it's, I think, one of the best things. So I tried to model it after that, but it's not going to really be like that because it's super, super, super high protein and like fairly low calorie. So it's like kind of my take on that made healthy. Do you want to taste that?
Yeah. I'm excited.
Because I know you're a Taco Bell girly.
I am. It's like I shouldn't be, but I am.
I can just help it on if you want. No, but you know, while we're on it, I think that at the end of the day, we all have to have balance in our lives. And like, if Diet Coke makes you happy, drink the fucking Diet Coke. Like, I think stressing about it is going to be so much worse. Like, I get Botox. I drink alcohol sometimes, you know, like we all have to pick our poison. Diet Coke is far from being the worst poison that you could pick. Do you like this? The sauce?
Very good, yeah.
It's like so low calorie and so high in protein. It's like actually so healthy.
I'm impressed. That's really good.
Thank you.
No, yeah, what I was going to say, the reason that I started drinking Diet Coke, I had never touched it in my life. And then when I stopped doing my job full time, I realized that I had spent 2 years straight drinking an energy drink every day. And I was like, I need to stop doing that. So I stopped and moved in the direction of coffee. But I was like, if I get a coffee in the morning, I need something else at like 4. So Diet Coke became my like 4 p.m. drink. Not every day, but like occasionally. And I don't think it's the worst thing. I'll survive. not. I don't drink alcohol really. So I'm like, I'm not poisoning myself in the same way that some people are.
Exactly.
So we have to do our best.
Now, one thing you could try if you want to go healthier is yerba mate tea.
Okay, interesting. I'm not really familiar.
It has, okay, so you're not on that TikTok algorithm then, because like do you get annoyed by TikTok Shop?
Yeah.
It's the fucking worst thing in the world.
And I get a lot of emails like encouraging me to participate in it. And I'm like, no, never.
It's
I
so
just kind of
annoying.
scroll past if I see that something like is a TikTok Shop video.
Right. And I get so many. And the thing that I think they do really well is you'll get like the same product constantly. Like So I'm on this like fucking yerba mate tea algorithm. So like I get so many fucking yerba mate tea, like shop ads or whatever, to the point where I'm like, should I just fucking buy it? But I was doing some research into it, and there are some really promising studies with yerba mate and like weight loss and anxiety and things like that. And it's a really, like, for a tea, it's a pretty high caffeine tea, but it's a lot lower in caffeine than coffee is. So something to keep in mind.
Do you have like a description of what it, is there like a similar thing of what it tastes like that you could think of? It
tastes like fucking tea, you know?
Okay. Not bad, it's not a strong taste, or is it?
It's slightly bitter, I guess. I don't know. I also am like not the best person to ask. I'm gonna grab pumpkin seeds.
Yeah.
It's gonna take me longer than I thought. Where the fuck are they?
I need to ask what this pink Play-Doh substance is.
It's cranberry juice powder.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I don't like use it often, but if I ever like kind of feel a UTI coming on, I will use it. Because it's just kind of a natural diuretic.
I once thought, this is so TMI, but I once thought I had a UTI, and then I went to handle it, and they were like, no, you have an STD. And I was like, no, I actually don't. Like, I know definitively I don't. And I didn't. I just had some kind of non-UTI, but UTI adjacent infection. But the guy was like, no, like, you have chlamydia or something like that. And I was like, I'm actually pretty confident that I don't. But they didn't believe me until they got the results back and were like, no, you actually don't have that. I was like, thank you.
That is traumatizing. I
really
can't
bad.
believe they did that to you.
Yeah. I'm like, is this homophobic? Like, probably. But
I was gonna say, I think that's like actually problematic.
Yeah, it was like an old white doctor, and I was just like, I kept saying like, I'm like pretty sure like that's not what this is, but he just didn't believe me. But it's fine, I guess. He's allowed to have his opinion.
No, I will say UTIs are pretty rare in men.
I learned that after.
Do you like cilantro, or are you one of those people?
I don't have the gene that makes me opposed to it.
Okay,
I don't have strong feelings on it.
So we're gonna add some cilantro. No, that's crazy. Wait, I feel like there are other things, because we're like nearing the end now, and we haven't even covered a fraction of what I wanted to. Why do you hate Nick Viall?
I think he has the worst takes on earth. Well, okay, I didn't really even know who he was. I didn't watch Bachelor. I remember him being on Dancing with the Stars and being mildly annoyed by him, but that was not for valid reasons. That was just like his face annoyed me and his dancing annoyed me. He just, I think, is very, I don't want to say misogynistic because I don't know the man. I don't want to make a blanket statement about his character, but that's the vibe I get from the way that he speaks about the shows. I've been really bothered by his Valley coverage and the way that he is so harsh about Britney. Not that I like Britney, but he acts like she's like the worst person on earth, and there's so many worse people on that show. And it just bothers me. It's like Britney is the one that you're most offended by in the context of that show. I also just get really annoyed by his interviews. I don't think he asks the right questions, and I think he goes hard on the wrong people. I don't know if you watch Southern Hospitality. Is that something you participate in?
Yes, I love it, actually.
It's so good. I have not spoken about this because I didn't want to get yelled at, because people have really strong feelings about the situation. But when he did his interview with Will and Emmy after last season, he came really hard at TJ over the Joe Bradley situation and basically insinuated that TJ actually initiated that and lied about it. And it was like wild of him to say, because Joe Bradley has not said that. Nobody involved in the situation has said that. Just Nick came up with that on his own, and it felt very homophobic to me, because it was like, that's just literally not what happened. Like, no one has even insinuated that. I didn't talk about it because honestly, I didn't want to like give light to that allegation, because I was like, that's just icky. But I don't know. He just has the wrong take about everything. And I don't get how he has the platform that he has. I don't know if you saw, there was the thing of him saying that he didn't know what women's suffrage was. Like, he's just like a clown. And it's just like, how have you become the person that everybody goes to for these like important hard-hitting interviews that aren't hard-hitting at all? He's only hard-hitting towards the people who don't deserve it. I don't know. I could talk for hours about how much I hate him. He annoys me so much. And I got a comment once that was like, you're just jealous that you're not getting these interviews. And I was like,
No.
At that point, I hadn't even done any interviews. I was like, I just sit here and talk shit. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be like a journalist, but he just does a bad job at it, in my opinion. And it's hard because I know that Katie and Dana's podcast is like under his umbrella. So I'm like, I love my girl Katie. Like, I don't want to talk too much shit about her like higher up, but he fucking sucks. So I do it anyway. I hate him.
Okay, this is my Nick Vial story, and I have to
I'm
tell
so
it
excited.
carefully. I'll tell you off air the details. So I have a friend who is a very successful Bravo podcaster. I'll tell you who it is later. Him and Nick were at the same award ceremony where my friend won an award. So he has one of the main.
Like, I'll know who it is.
Yes.
Okay.
And they ran into each other at the airport when they were both leaving. And so he went up and like introduced himself and said, hey, I'm so-and-so, blah, blah. And Nick was really like acted like he didn't know who he was. And it's like, you know who he is. Like, you fucking know who he is. And ever since then, I don't like him.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
No, I'm not surprised to hear that. Well, and it's kind of annoying that he came into this space that like, I don't know if your friend is straight, but like that a lot of women and gays are in and just kind of took over. And it's like, obviously he didn't do it he didn't push these people out or like step over them on purpose necessarily. Like, he's just trying to get his clout and get his money, but it's icky. And especially like with him getting the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives reunion hosting, I'm like, there are so many gay people that could have done that, or women, or anybody that's not fucking Nick, but
like,
whatever.
So many people were more qualified to do that for sure. I want to take a photo of this and then I want to dig in.
No, as you should.
Doesn't it look like fucking stunning?
It does. I don't know how you did that.
You know, anytime I feel like shit about myself, the one thing I can fall back on is like, I can make food look really fucking stunning. And I have that going for me.
I'm very impressed.
And it's cool because it's just so fucking healthy, you know?
I guess the colors and the healthy are correlated because, like I said, my food does not look this colorful, unfortunately.
Yeah, it really is, actually. You can actually like learn a lot about like the nutritional content of a food based on its colors. But do you want to dig in? I want like your opinion on this.
Yeah, I'm excited. I don't want to mess it up. It's so pretty.
That's fine. Mess it up. Mess it up.
I'll go from this corner.
I'm going to do it too, even though I don't like tortilla chips. Oh, that's actually a great scoop right there.
Thanks. I spotted it.
Good for you. I'm just fucking everything up. You know what? It's a bit like Jenga.
It's good. This is pineapple yellow.
Mango.
I'm so fucking dumb. Pineapple didn't sound right, but the mango is doing a lot. I think.
Mango is doing a lot.
Wow. That's
I
really
love
good.
like the freshness of a mango flavor. And also those mangoes that I use, these like yellow skin ones, are superior to the green and red. Keep that in mind next time you're grocery shopping.
I didn't even know there were different color options.
Oh my God,
oblivious
there are so
about
many
these
different types of
things.
mangoes.
I have a lot to learn.
You do. Are you going to tell the new guy that you're seeing that you had like a tofu,
Yes, I am.
high protein, vegan nacho
I'll be
situation?
proud.
Yeah, I think you will be. You should be.
Yeah.
You should be. Okay. I guess we could wrap up because I feel like I've had you here for 20 hours. And
I don't feel like that. I feel like we need to talk about Lexi briefly.
Wait, we have to talk about Lexi. Okay. What are your thoughts?
It's really hard because I really try not to talk bad about women on these shows because I think that they get enough flack for invalid reasons. And I was actually very defensive of her at the beginning of the season because I felt like people were coming at her just for being young. And it was like, okay, well, she's not that young. She's 3 years older than me, which we'll get there. But like, I don't know.
Her voice and her...
like superficial things that are not valid reasons to complain about somebody. So I was like actually not happy about the way that the internet was treating her. And then when she started coming at Ciara, I was like, okay, fuck off. And I'm so protective of Ciara. I will go to the ends of the earth for that lady. Not that I know her, but it's parasocial, but that's fine. But like, I was just so bothered by it. And also just like annoyed from a TV perspective because I feel like the Jesse and Lexi situation was not interesting enough to get the screen time that it did. And I've now seen people saying, and this is a very valid complaint, like, y'all wasted Paige's last season on this show on Jesse and Lexi. And I'm like, they did. And that really annoys me. I was really happy when it was announced that she's not returning, respectfully. Her family, like, ugh, I don't know. I have so many negative thoughts.
Okay, her family is where I disagree with you. I think it's really sweet.
It's sweet. I just think
wish
they're annoying.
I was like that with my family. Like, I wish like my mom slept in bed with me and went to the box. And I've also never been to the box. How does one get into the box?
I don't know. I know nothing about the box.
I really want to go to the box. Like, my boyfriend's been. I'm like, how did you get in? I hear it's a really hard door.
Yeah, no, I know nothing about the box. I think it's cute that they are as close as they are. I don't get why we needed to see them so much was my issue. And especially when they were like on Watch What Happens Live as the bartenders, I was like, really? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I get that. It is nice that they are as close as they are. Like, good for her.
Yeah.
But I was just like, we saw her sister and mom, I feel like, more than we saw Gabby. And that's just not great.
Literally. Okay, I'm going to tell you my take because I want to know what you think about this. I liked her in the beginning. I thought she was like so bubbly, so cute. I like loved her interacting with Jesse. I was like, even if this goes to shit, it's fun to watch. This is what they're meant to do on the show. They're hired to kind of like hook up with each other. I was always like really defensive of her and always kind of, for sure, anti-Jesse. And there were times even where I was like, the girls, like, I love them. I never want to say anything negative about them, but I wish they'd take her in more, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
They could have.
As we've gone on, I have this pit that I can't get rid of where I feel like she's not being fully truthful. There's something off to me and I can't put my finger on it. I think a lot of what she accuses Jesse of, I wonder if she's actually guilty of.
I think they're both very image conscious and like very aware of the cameras.
Very image conscious. Like, you know what it is to me? I think she kind of gives me, and maybe I'm projecting, she kind of gives me the girl who like wants to be like, no, like I wasn't like that sprung. Like he was more like obsessed with me. And like I think she cared like she broke up with him and not seen on camera and then off camera texts him and is like, are we getting back together? Like, I just wish she would have come on and been like, I was kind of an idiot with him.
I agree.
Instead of like, there was not one thing that she took responsibility for other than like maybe a bit with like the Sierra and the press tour and stuff, but like not really. You know?
I think she went in being like, I'm so wrong. And I think, honestly, I think the internet did her a disservice. I think they led her to believe that she is this like scorned, iconic woman. And it was just like, okay, it was like a situationship that went awry because you're both kind of immature. More so Jesse, but still. And I think she was given the wrong idea. I don't know if it was people in her life also fueling that thought about her, but like I think she went in to the reunion specifically like, I'm so wronged. All of these people have done horrible things to me. And it was just like, yeah, Jesse kind of did, but like nobody else did. Like you said, the girls could have been more welcoming, but I also think that she saw the comments being like, they were doing her dirty and got in her head about that and kind of invented that, like went with that more than she would have, because I don't think she really felt that way about Paige, honestly. No. I think Paige, from what we saw on the show, was a friend to her.
Yeah.
I said this in a video like last week. Paige at one time was like commenting nice things about Lexi on videos of mine. Like Paige was defending her early on in the season. I think Paige genuinely thought there was a friendship there. And then at the reunion, Lexi is acting like Paige like did her dirty too. And it was just like, where is this even coming from? And the only thing I can come up with is that it came from the internet.
Yeah.
And she saw the comments of like, they're not girls, and wanted to run with that narrative. Yeah. And it's unfortunate. But now she's not coming back. So sorry, girl.
Yeah. And that definitely was not her choice, right? There's not a chance in hell.
It honestly bothers me so much that people assume that just because a person's announcing it, that it's their choice. And I'm like, y'all, Lexi was saying 2 weeks ago in interviews that she wants to come back. Like, this is not her decision. It's almost never the person's decision. It was Paige's decision. Yeah. But rarely.
You can tell when it is. Like Bethany, it was her decision. Did you like Bethany? What do you think of Bethany?
Oh my God.
Because like Bethany's a whole nother thing.
I loved early Beth. Well, honestly, I loved her the whole time she was on the show. Same. I don't like the current iteration of her. She has me blocked on TikTok for saying not. Because Carol Radziwill is my favorite housewife ever. Okay. And so have posted I posted like nice things about Carol that like were shady towards Bethany regarding their conflicts. And like when Bethany became friends with Jill again, it was just like, you can be friends with Jill, but not stop talking shit about Carol. I don't know. I don't really get the animosity there. And I'm very defensive of Carol, but.
Okay, I completely agree with everything you said. I rode so fucking hard for Bethany the entire time she was on the show.
No, she
and
was
people
amazing.
would talk about her being like a monster and a terrible person and stuff. And I just was like, whatever, I love her.
Dorinda, and she's like they all kind of are. The
oh my
New
God,
York
Dorinda
girls.
commented on one of my recipes on Instagram once and like asked for the recipe.
Oh my God.
I know,
You're
it's
the
like one
Queen
of my
of
proudest
England. You're the president. Oh my God.
And actually, I've met Carol Ratzwell once. She was with Adam and the dog. And it was like my first year in New York, and I was with my dog, and our dogs were playing. And I actually talked to them for a while, and I was telling them about how she used to be paralyzed and stuff. And they were so lovely. Like, they were so cute, so
I'm glad
sweet.
to hear that.
Yeah.
She's iconic to me.
She is iconic. I agree. So what I really don't like about Bethany is the TikTok bullying.
Yeah, no.
Do you know Meredith Lynch?
Yes.
So I love Meredith Lynch.
Okay,
And when that shit happened, I DM'd her immediately. I was like, I'm a lawyer. She has no leg to stand on here. But that really fucked with Meredith. As you can imagine, like being threatened to be sued by someone who's really powerful. Yeah. And then I also didn't like her reality reckoning shit.
No.
I thought it was like so losery, and she's now fully abandoned it, and poor Leah is like still in a lawsuit, like by her lawyer.
Yeah. No, that's kind of my issue with it is like, if you genuinely felt that way, it was one thing. It just felt very performative. Like even like the podcast she did with fucking Raquel Rachel, like it was just like, you're taking these people who like have really genuinely bad experiences with this platform and like using it to like boost your own image. And it was just, I felt like it was obvious in the moment, like this lady's not following through with this. Like she's just doing this, like have a moment in the media. Mm-hmm. And then she started doing whatever else she's doing on TikTok and completely forgot about it. And it's just like, and like you said, now Leah is still dealing with it. Like Brandy's career is ruined because she kind of like hopped on that train too. And it's unfortunate, but no, I don't like Bethany at all. And it's funny because I didn't realize for so long that she had me blocked. And then I was like, I have not seen that lady's videos in a long time. And then I was like, she blocked me. Lisa Rinna also has me blocked.
Why? What'd you say about her?
Like nothing really, I don't think. I made a video when it got announced that she was leaving. I think she blocked a lot of the Bravo accounts just to like get it off of her
Yeah, that
feed.
makes sense. I feel bad for that.
Yeah. Rumor is she's going to be on Traders.
Oh, I'd like that.
I think she would do well there. I don't know if she'll get far, but I think she would make good TV.
Yeah. And I think Candace is supposed to be on.
I love Candace.
Wait, I just heard, did you hear Monique is coming back to Potomac?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Me too.
I mean, I wasn't on her side in the fight, but like I love her anyway.
Yeah.
I love both of them. Candace is my favorite Potomac housewife, but I love Monique too.
Okay. Wait, are you watching Love Hotel?
Yes.
I love it.
I know, I didn't expect to. I'm like, next gen NYC and Love Hotel, I was like, these are going to be shit. Like, I can't believe I have to watch these. Yeah. And it's actually so good. It's kind of making me, I know you said you don't watch OC, but Shannon is like not looking great on it. Okay,
so I need to go back and watch OC. Shannon, I kind of knew Shannon as like high strung before it. Do you remember like when they finished filming, Joel or whatever, you remember that? He tweeted the shit. I know I want to know what happens on the last episode. But I would imagine she was just probably just difficult the whole time. You think that's it?
And I think something happened. I don't even think we're gonna see whatever inspired it. I think it was an off-camera situation at their like rap party. But at the time I was like, it was wildly unprofessional of him to do that. He should not have done it in that public way. But after seeing the show, she was being kind of a demon the whole time. So I'm like, I could see it.
Okay, I wanted to ask you, because I don't have the context. Is it different from how she is on OC? Because I would imagine this is how she is on OC, no?
I think when she's on OC, the other people on it like match the crazy. So she doesn't come across as like abnormal.
Okay.
But in the context of like these normal-ish men, and then like Giselle and Ashley are both being very chill. Luann is just like too busy being Luann to like be like a menace. So like Shannon being
so fucking
I love her
funny.
So much. She is so important to me. She is iconic. But I think it's just Shannon being the only one who's like as on edge as she is. On OC, that's the norm. They're all fucking crazy. But on this show, it's like everybody else is like kind of relaxed and chill, and she's just not. And it's not making her look great, but I love her so much. She's another one of my favorites. Her and Heather are my two at the moment.
Okay. No, I need to watch OC.
It's so good. And Atlanta is so good too, but I actually think OC is better. And OC right now is in like still in a really good phase. Atlanta's getting better, but it's not like amazing right now.
Right.
OC I think is still in one of its best eras ever. I love this current iteration of OC, and I think it's going to be really good with Gretchen back this season.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you're giving me a lot to think about. Is there anything else we didn't cover that we should?
I don't know.
Who's your favorite housewife of all time? Well, you just said
it's Carol.
That's an interesting take, I have to say.
It's not like the most, like a lot of people wouldn't say that, but that's how I feel. I think I like to say my favorite Bravo celebrity though of all time is Katie Maloney. So because I like Katie more than I like Carol. So Katie's like my number one ever, and I got to meet her in December, and that was like a very validating experience in that because she was so lovely and just like incredible human.
Yeah.
So Katie's my number one. Carol is my number one housewife.
Okay.
Who is yours?
Housewife? Honestly, I don't know. Because for me to be my favorite, you have to be entertaining and you have to be in on the joke. Like there are a lot of people who are entertaining. Carol, yeah. So I can that's actually an answer I would give that I feel like not a lot of people would agree with. I really like the British one on Dubai. Caroline Stanbury. I didn't watch Ladies of London really. Yeah. I've watched like a couple of episodes, but she kind of gives me both where she's funny and she's in on the joke. Yeah. I like that. But I have way more like non-housewife favorites. Like,
so who's your number one non-housewife favorite?
Probably Paige.
Paige is close.
I like the girls. Yeah. And she gives
so
like I love Stassi. Yeah. Like I like pretty, fabulous, funny girls. Yeah, like that's kind of my thing. Yeah.
Stassi, when I went to the Vanderpump Villa thing in April, they like invited me like a week in advance. I was like, sure, I'll go to LA. I don't have anything else going on. And she like knew who I was from TikTok, and I was like like what? Like that was so crazy to me. She was so amazing. And it was funny because I had met her, like I really like when I get to meet people who I've met in meet and greets before and then get to meet them in like professional context and be like, hey, not that they ever remember, but like it's cool for me to be like, this is like somebody that I paid money to meet and now I am getting to meet just because I'm like partially adjacent to this world. Yeah. And it's really cool.
No, that is really cool. I've met her also. I used to work for her best friend. So that's how I met her. And she was like so lovely.
Taylor or somebody else?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So yeah, I met her like on her tour, like backstage. And like it was backstage before her show, which like, you know, if I met someone in that circumstance, I would not be like so gracious and nice. Like I'd be like stressed about going on stage. But she was so lovely, like
really good
so
to
lovely.
Hear.
And she complimented my outfit.
Wow, that's a big one.
Yeah.
That's really, I would imagine, validating.
Yeah. Yeah, truly one of the highlights of my life.
I love that.
Okay, let's do another, like we'll do a quick round and then we'll wrap up. Okay. Favorite show?
Like currently or
like if it's like a vintage, like you can say like vintage Roni or something if that's...
Old Roni probably is, specifically like the Carol years, like it's just so good. Once she left, it kind of went off. But yeah, that and Vanderpump, those are my two, I would say. Like I've been rewatching Vanderpump now and it's just so good. Also, this is so bad of me to say, but so I was rewatching it with my ex, like around the time we broke up and he's so anti-Katie. And I was like, I should have known. Because when we watched it initially, he was very anti-Katie. And I was like, but I should have known that was irreconcilable differences.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. People are so fucked up to Katie when she dealt with so much.
I know. I'll never understand it. That's one of the reasons that I'm so glad that I wasn't in this fan base space for a while. Like I was pretty late to it. I didn't really watch any of the shows till like 2021. And if I had to be on the internet when everybody was like hating Katie, because I even was on the tail end of it, like season 10, I remember. And that's actually one of the reasons I started posting was because I remember going to like the Vanderpump Rules, like recaps, like podcasts, and everybody hated Katie. And I was like, what the fuck? I would have been a menace on the internet if I was there when everybody was like harassing her. Like I would have been in the trenches. Which I still kind of am because some people still don't like her. But the majority of the fan base, I feel like, now has come around to her. Yeah. Thank God. Because what did she ever do wrong?
Literally,
She's one of the only good people on the show.
If you were to cast like your perfect kind of crossover show? It could be like Ultimate Girls Trip vibe. It could be like Winter House vibe. What would it be?
I really wanted them, and Andy even said that he liked the idea around the time of Scandal of doing like a Ariana-centered Ultimate Girls Trip, and I still think that was a great idea. But now I think they could do it with like some Love Island people, like PPG from last season, Ariana, Katie, Paige, Sierra, Amanda if she wants to be there, but no Kyle. Like just a girls thing. I think that would be fun.
That would be fun. I like that.
Yeah, they should do it.
Yeah, they should.
They should hire me. Maybe we could even get Stassi in.
You know what? Like, we need an Andy replacement soon, and I think you should start grooming yourself for that.
Well, I just don't want it to be Nick. If it's fucking Nick, I'm not watching Bravo anymore.
I love when you go straight to Cam. It's actually my favorite thing that's been happening
I'm like so
here
bad
today.
about it. I'm so bad at being aware of the camera. But yeah, when I need to deliver a message.
It's so fucking funny. Okay, on that note, let's wrap it up because it's not going to get better than that. Josh, thank you so much for being here. Where can people find you?
Yes, you can find me at Josh Thoroniston, RHONY, on Instagram and TikTok. Instagram, I'm trying to be better about, but it's mostly TikTok. Covering Love Island all summer, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And then the Love Island spinoff when that starts, so I'm excited for that.
What's the spinoff?
The season 6 cast, they're doing like a them living in LA show. It actually didn't look great. The trailer just came out, but I love them anyway, so I'll watch it and cover it.
I've never watched Love Island.
You should. It's really good. I mean, it's a full-time job.
That's
You're
the
busy.
thing. That's the thing, right?
I'm free to. I don't have that much going on, so I can commit my whole summer to it. It's literally every night except Wednesdays. Yeah. Last night was the first night that we've had since it started last week that it wasn't, because they did a Wednesday episode last week, even though it was just because it was the first week. Last night was the first time after 8 episodes that we had a break, and I was like, what do I do with myself? But then Real Housewives of Miami premiered, so I was like, okay, I'm busy.
I'm so excited to watch that. I haven't even watched it yet.
I'm just so sad about Dr. Nicole not being there because she was my favorite, but it's okay.
I really liked her too. I have kind of this weird thing. I really like Julia. I
always
why.
did, but she was kind of a demon in last night's episode. I'm curious to know how you feel when you watch it.
I'm curious because part of why I like Julia is, in a weird way, she reminds me of my mom, which is a weird thing to say because my mom like grew up in Iran in a very like repressed circumstance. She's straight and like not
married to a tennis legend.
No, like, and she's not like I feel like Julia's kind of like open and sex positive and stuff. Like my mom's none of those things.
But, like in some kind of way.
Yeah, but I think it's the energy, and I sometimes think I wonder if my mom would be more like Julia if she had grown up in like if she had grown up in Europe instead of the Middle East. I don't know, but
really
like in a sweet way, she reminds me of my mom, so I like really love her. I don't know, it's so strange.
I liked her always, and then last night I was like, I don't know how good of a season she's gonna have, but I love Adriana so much, so I really liked their friendship. But it seems like they fall out this season, so that's unfortunate. But I love Adriana. She's such a menace.
She's so fucking funny. She's crazy.
I feel like she's like, there's kind of my mom recently started watching Bravo, and there are some people that I expected her to love, but basically the people I love, because I'm like, we're pretty similar. Like, she liked the same people. Adriana, she did not. And Lindsay Hubbard, she hates. And I'm like, I love my Lindsay.
I love Lindsay too, but I used to hate Lindsay.
Yeah, everybody has their journey. Yeah. No, but everyone I feel like came around at some point.
Yeah. No, she's fucking funny.
She's great.
All right, Josh, thank you so much for being here. We're going to go eat because we have a plate full of nachos in front of us. And as it turns out, eating sounds aren't like the best on camera. So yeah, we're going to go Kiki. Thanks for being here. We'll chat next week. If you loved that episode as much as I hope you did, make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a thing. And check out some past episodes while you wait for the new one to drop next week. And until next week, make sure to stay cunty out there.